A very good morning, Level 7A, and welcome back to our online class. How are you doing this morning? Great, good. How was your quiz yesterday? Did it go well? Well, I hope so. I haven't looked at it yet, but I will take some time to mark your work, okay? Just because today I'm going to be a little bit busy with the Khmer program, okay? So I'm invigilating for the Khmer department, all right? So hopefully tomorrow I will take some time and mark your quiz, okay? So you will be with your new teacher today. Well, not new teacher, you will be with another teacher who's going to be helping me for today for my class only, okay? So I'll come back tomorrow and I'll see you tomorrow, yeah? All right, so don't worry, tomorrow I'll take your time. I take my time to mark some quiz papers. All right, I hope it goes well. Anyway, what day are we on today? Very good. Today we're on Tuesday, August 4th, 2020. We're already on fourth day of August. Wow, so fast already, huh? Right, so for session 1, we're going to be covering up Speaking Tutor 1A. Today, we're going to be going to a grammar lesson focusing on adverbs of frequency, page 99. Right, but before we go there, let's quick review of what we've done last week in our Speaking Tutor 1A. Do you remember? That's right, so last week we played some games. What was it? The food game, right? So you were asked to spin the food game, spin the thingy, okay, in circle, and whatever it stops, you need to make a sentence. And each way you go along, you have to fill up the plate, right? A glass of milk, a cup of coffee or something, a plate of pasta or something like that, right? A bowl of soup, okay? So that was your last week work. All right, so for today's class, we're going to be focusing on grammar section, grammar focus, adverbs of frequency, page 99. Now, what is adverbs of frequency? Now, if I remember clearly, I think we've already done this already. I think we already done this before, right? Do you remember? You already saw the answers. Right, so the frequency of adverb, or the adverbs of frequency, is describe how often an action happens. Okay, there are 6 main adverbs of frequency that we use in English. Okay, so we have always, usually, or normally, often, sometimes, rarely, and never. Okay, so these are the 6 main adverbs of frequency that we use in English. Now, it is describe how often an action happens. All right, take a look at page 99. Take a look at the adverb of frequency chart. Now, look at the chart. The frequency of adverbs, I always say that, it's an adverbs of frequency. Usually takes about 100%. So from 0 to 100%. Now, if it's 100%, it would be what? Always, right? That's for 100% is always. Usually it's only about 80%, and often between 58 to 60%, and sometimes usually takes about 20-30%, okay, between 30 and 35%. Rarely, Rarely is about 10%, and never is 0%. So always, it means when you're always doing something, right? You always do it regularly. So for example, I always take my video in the afternoon, all right? So that's what I'm doing all the time. So that's describing an action that happens in the afternoon for me, okay? I usually eat my breakfast at 8 o'clock. Normally, it's also similar to always. It's about 80% that I'm generally eating my breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning. I often do my homework around 6 p.m. So often it could be sometimes 6, sometimes 5:30, sometimes, it's not always the same time. Sometimes it's very, sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't, okay? So I will always go to the gym every weekend. Do I always go to the gym? No, sometimes I go to the gym on the weekend. Sometimes, I mean yes and no. Sometimes you go, sometimes you don't, Okay, rarely means hardly, or it's close to never. Okay, so I rarely goes to the gym because it's either too expensive or something. Okay, so I rarely goes to the gym, right? So that's the frequency adverb. And never, when does never generally takes place? Well, never, it means you never do it at all. So for example, it's in the 0%, right? Hello, welcome back to session 2. Now for session 2, we're going to be covering up blueprint 2. Okay, so for blueprint 2, do you remember what we've done last time in our blueprint 2? That's right, so last time in our blueprint 2, we did some active review and we also did the fluency. We talked about who's in the picture, what their majoring was, what their commons was, what was that? What was the other one? Their major, their commons, and their activities, right? What they like to do, aside from choosing their own majoring, right? Okay, so for blueprint 2 today, we're going to be looking at unit 4. We're starting new unit, unit 4, college life, lesson 1, where is it? Where is it? Page 48. Please open your book to page 48. Right, as you can see here, there are 12 vocabulary checklists. But before we do our vocabulary checklist, let's listen to track 28. Now, listen to track 28. Listen.
Track 28.
Welcome, freshmen. We want to introduce you to the campus and help you learn where some things are. One of the first things you see when you come into the front entrance is the large fountain in the middle of the south courtyard. Behind that is the admissions office. The science library is on the left, and on the right, next to the admissions office, is the administration building. The academic center, the housing office, and many other offices are inside. There are 2 main paths out of the courtyard. The path between the science library and the admissions office takes you toward our athletic center and the food court. The wide path on the right, past the administration building, leads to the dormitories and the middle of campus. Around there are the academic buildings, where most classrooms are located. Visit our information center to learn more about your new campus.
Good! I hope you've already listened to track 28, but before we go to the vocabulary, let's gonna do a quick read together of the page, okay? Exercise A, authentic text. A letter to freshmen. Read the letter. Welcome, freshmen. We want to introduce you to the campus and help you learn where some things are. One of the first things you see when you come into the front entrance is the large fountain in the middle of the south courtyard. Behind that is the admissions office. The science library is on the left, and on the right, next to the admissions office, is the administration building, the academic center, the housing office, and many other offices are inside. There are 2 main paths out of the courtyard. The path between the science library and the admissions office take you toward the athletic center and the food court. The wide path on the right, past the administration building, leads to the dormitories and the middle of the campus. Around there are the academic buildings, where most classrooms are located. Visit our information center to learn more about your new campus. Okay? All right. So, let's have a look at our vocabulary. There are 12 vocabulary checklists here. Okay? All right, number 1, laboratory, laboratory or lab. 2, student center, student center. 3, admission building, admission building. 4, academic center, academic center. Or people say academic center, academic center. 5, food court, food court. 6, courtyard, courtyard. 7, athletic center, athletic center. 8, auditorium, auditorium. 9, financial aid center, financial aid center. 10, garage, garage. 11, housing office, housing office. 12, concert hall, concert hall. All right, let's now go through each one with the definitions, okay? 1, laboratory is a room to create a science project. So if you have a science project, you want to explore things, you want to explode something, you would go to a science room, a science lab. Number 2, student center is a place for a tutor and counselor to give advice on classes. So if you're wondering what you're going to be studying, wondering where your classes are, you're wondering what your subjects are, what you're majoring are, you will need to go to the student center for help, okay? Number 3, admissions building is the process or fact of entering or being allowed to enter a place, okay? You've done that before. Academic center is a place where give information about clubs and social activities, okay? So if you want to know about clubs, not like the clubs we go dancing, no, clubs for like books club, reading clubs, football clubs, soccer, basketball clubs are all like parts of sports, okay? And social activities like singing, dancing, like doing ballet, doing singing, doing theater, musical theater, okay? And also another word for academic is what? Another word for academic is related to school or studying, okay? So academic center. Number 5, food court is a place to eat. So you go to a food court, there's a lot of choices, varieties of food where you can choose. Number 6, courtyard is a place where you... courtyard. A courtyard, it's an open area with buildings around it. Sorry about this one. Okay, it's an open area with buildings around it. Okay, so a courtyard is like a big space area with lots of building. You can use that space to study or something, yeah? Number 7, athletic center is a place to exercise and play sports. Easy. Auditorium, a place where shows and speeches take place. So if you have like we have a shows or we have a, like a play or something, we can go to auditorium. Financial and aid center is a place for getting help with money for college. So if you need help with money for college, you would go to the financial aid center to ask for help, okay, because you're short of money to study. Garage, a place for parking cars, okay, or vehicles. 11, housing office is a place for getting help when you're getting a place to live. So, when in a university, there's a place called like housing office. So if you don't know where to live in the university, you can ask either you want to live in or you want to live out. Yeah, you can ask for some ideas or advice. 12, concert hall, where the music performances take place. Okay, so if you want to do like singing, like a play, like dancing, like musical theater or something, you would go to this concert hall where all the music performances take place. Okay, so that is very, very easy for you. That's not very difficult at all, right? So there are more work and more work, more homework, more classwork, more class discussion practices coming in your way, okay? Don't worry about that. Should be easy in no times, right? Okay, good. So don't forget that I will be setting your exercise C and D, B, C, and D as part of your homework or part of your classwork, okay? All right, if you have any questions at all during the class, please message me, okay? Don't worry, you can disturb me anytime and I'm happy to answer your questions if you need anything, all right? Okay, that's all for session 2 to sum up the whole video. I'll see you tomorrow for my next video, all right? Have a nice day, have a lovely day. Goodbye all. Bye-bye.